back, and if you joined us late today, well, we're talking about school and education and how important it is for our children. And especially now at this time of year, we're all thinking about that. And my special guest is Mary Nell Anthony, and she is the principal of the Greenville Tech Charter High School here in Greenville. And I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad you've had me.
And what kinds of things can you give to parents now this time of year? What are some of the things they need to do and can do to help, whether they go to your school or another school?
Right. So, I mean, I'm a parent myself of a 7-year-old and 9-year-old. And so I think the most important thing that parents can do is really to partner with a school. And by that, what I mean is, you know, the school is there because they, you know, teachers wake up in the morning wanting to go and help children the best way they know how and have been trained how. And parents have these dreams for their children. And so what better thing to do than come together to make sure that child gets where they're going in life. And that's really our goal. So I really think that, you know, the first thing to do is really communicate with the teacher and build that partnership. Make sure, you know, some might call my Bella a bit stubborn. And so I want to make sure that the teacher sees Bella through my eyes and they really know who she is as a person. So at the start of every year, I write a note to the teachers to tell about Ellie,
to tell
Bella, and just say, this is who my child is as a person. And I'm so thankful that you're here to partner with me to educate my child. But I just wanted to share with you some things about their personalities and about our lifestyle and about what we do in our family. Another thing that I always do, and you know, it doesn't cost a lot of money, but while I'm picking up school supplies, I pick up maybe a little $5 gift card for that teacher. They're expected to supply a lot on their own. Yeah. So, you know, just, you know, something to Target or Starbucks for some extra caffeine to kick off the year just builds goodwill in that relationship with the teacher. But also educate yourself. I'm a high school educator, and I've been in education for 20 years, but I have no idea where Bella's supposed to be in second grade in terms of her reading level. That's my youngest. Yes. I don't know what is typical for the 4th grader to know what Ellie should be able to know and be able to do. So I really also asked the teacher. Last year I met with the teacher and said, you know, is this typical? Do most kids struggle with this? Because I don't know if that's average or if they're a little behind. And if they're a little behind, what can I do at home to help? Do I need to call out that addition or subtraction flashcards more at night? Do we need to, you know, practice those multiplication tables to make sure Ellie gets it? And I know I'm using the elementary examples.
To be a backup.
Yeah.
And as I understand, this is one of the problems that I've heard from teachers, that they don't have the support many times of the parent. And this makes it very difficult for the teacher and for the child.
It does. You know, you often, not often, I think a lot of parents out there really want to support the school, and some just don't know how. But I also think that in America in general, there's been a devaluing of the educator.
Oh, absolutely.
There's this, you know, in Asian countries, I know sometimes Finland is looked at, educators are revered. You know, that is
put up on a pedestal.
Like you chose to dedicate your life to serving others and to helping children. And in America, that's not often done. And some parents, not all by any means, but some parents tend to question more. And asking a question is never a bad thing. Like I said, you want to educate yourself. But, you know, if a teacher writes home that, you know, they took off 2 points for this, you know, and the child's like, but I can't believe they did that. Well, you know, honey, the teacher's the expert. They had a reason for doing that. Or, you know, if they set a deadline, then support that deadline. I think we have to build trust to know what they implemented in that classroom was done with a good heart and good intentions, and trust that they are doing their best to teach your child both the content and standards and those life skills that they need.
So you really say to parents, be there for your child.
Yes, and advocate for your child.
And you know, teachers are very busy, so if every parent runs in there all the time to talk to the teacher, that isn't good. But be open and at least know the teacher, your child's
Yes.
teacher. Call them by name and know them, and let them know that you're there as a backup.
And support for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that way you've got a great combination.
You do. You really have. You know, I've worked with kids for 20 years now, and the most valuable work that I think I've done are those kids that are struggling to graduate, or the ones who really want to make it like to Broadway, to a big. You know, I want to be a brain surgeon, something that's
Yeah.
huge. And partnering with that parent to say, okay, this is your child's dream or this is your child's struggle. What can we do together to get them there? What can I do as an educator? What can you do as a parent? Let's work together. So I think sometimes the media likes to make it, you know, schools versus parents and parents versus schools. And it shouldn't be like that. We all have the same goal, which is to have kids who are ready to be leaders and workers in our society. And so I think that if we work together, we can make that happen.
Now, your school, you have class size. How do you try to keep it at a certain level?
We cap our classes at 25 max, but a lot of our classes are more like 20, just because it's good to build those one-on-one relationships. So that personalization is really important to us.
Now, you do have a waiting list.
Yes, ma'am.
And so if a parent out there wants something like this for their child, they need to get involved.
Yes, ma'am.
Put that child's name on the list, talk to the school, be there.
Yes, yes. And if you apply to our school, then we're going to work down through that waiting list and notify you so that you will know when it's your turn and can get in. And we try for full enrollment every year, and hope that, you know, a spot opens. We took in 3 new sophomores this year. So they didn't make it in freshman year, but they made it in sophomore year. So we are always open for new students and parents.
And that's very important, that people not give up.
Right, right. And whatever school they're in, to partner with the school and make sure, you know, school's like anything in life. You get in what you put in.
Now, you have
So-
more choices in not just your school, but any charter school. You have more choices for the student, right?
Well, every charter school is different, and that's what makes it important, is that our charter offers a middle college program. Another charter might not have that. So parents need to research, look around, and see what fits their child. The child that should be coming to our school is that child that wants to go ahead and start college classes while they're in high school.
Yeah.
That wants
And
that
some of them
personalized
graduate
learning.
from high school and already have,
An associate's degree.
I mean, it's amazing.
And 65% of jobs are going to require post-secondary education by 2020.
Our world is
So-
becoming more technical all the time.
Exactly.
And if you're going to succeed, you've got to find a way to have an education.
Exactly. So I think that's real important, but we are all about the choice to come to our school, and then every charter school follows its own charter. So, like
So
I said,
each
parents-
one is unique in a way.
Yes, and so they all have different guidelines that they follow. So our guidelines are, you know, students do a senior project, and that is something where they get real world application. They can do internships with local businesses. They can go volunteer. Our students do 50 hours of community service, so that we're teaching how to give back to the
Yeah,
community.
that's fabulous. So your school requires that of
Every student.
every student. Now, is that just for seniors or for all of them?
All seniors do the senior project, but every student every year we do 50 hours of community service.
All right. Now, what would that entail?
That can entail anything that helps someone in need. So for some people, that might be their next door neighbor is, you know, 90 years old and fell and needs a ramp built to their home. But that also might mean going to volunteer at the Miracle Hill thrift store. So we also are going to be partnering with Hands on Greenville to do some service projects with them. So it is just anything that could help in the community counts towards that 50 hours for our students.
And you are that way teaching these young people to give back.
Exactly. Because I think that to whom much is given, much is required. And so when you've been blessed you want to be a blessing for others.
And your Greenville Tech Charter High School is located where? For those people who may not know.
Right. We are on Greenville Tech's campus.
Okay.
We are on the main campus, the Barton campus. So we are Greenville Tech Charter High School. We have sister schools that replicated, that are Brazier and Greer, that are also on those campuses for Greenville Technical College.
And how many students do you have now?
Well, so I think we're around 420.
And are you taking any more? Or?
We are. We are actually working through our waiting list right now. We have a waiting list of about 100, but we made phone calls today to say, hey, we just had a spot open, because we did have a child who moved out of state.
And sometimes those things change. So just because your child is on a waiting list, don't give up.
Exactly.
I mean, somebody can move or decide they're going to another school, and so that space becomes open.
Yes.
And you try to keep the class size down.
Oh, yes, that's key.
And what do you require from parents?
We ask that parents also volunteer in our school.
Oh, yeah.
We want them to be in, to know our teachers, to know us, like I said, to really create that community and that school family so that we are working together. So we require parents to come in and help. And like I said, join forces. And that's really a key component to our school.
And when a parent does that, it sends a message to their child, too, that this is important. I'm here because I
Yes.
believe this matters.
That's right. Yes.
So you need the support of parents.
Oh, desperately.
Or caregivers, whatever the child's
Right.
situation is.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm just thrilled to welcome you and Nell, and, wish you and all your young people, students, a great year.
Thank you
and
so
your students,
much.
and keep the door open. We need more choices,
Well,
more hope out there for children.
exactly. We're so excited to be able to be part of that charter school movement and offer that.
Thank you. Bless
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you
much.
so much. The Greenville Tech Charter High School, and I have information here, website, telephone numbers, and I'm sure we put it up there. If you want it more, you're welcome to contact us. And we wish you and your whole family well. It's the time of year we've got to open those books. We'll see you next time.